Hey, Wildspice here. Just a quick message before this video starts. Bear with me, I know it's longer than an hour, but VOD reviewing a 45-minute Darktide run does add a little bit extra. I have one other response on the form to get through, but if you would like me to review your gameplay, the link to the form is in the description below. So get your video submitted so you can help me to help you. Anyway, let's get into the video. Hello, and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be going through a subscriber's video to see if we can help them through Damnation, as they're new to the higher difficulty. They mentioned in the form that they're trying to perfect their decision-making skills, as well as strengthen their role and purpose on the class. And the class they will be playing today is the OGRYN. So we'll be looking through their positioning, the decisions that they make throughout the match, see if they could make any better decisions, and also help them out along the way with any tips on the map specifically, things like that. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. We have my trusty epic pen, so I can draw and annotate over the video as we go through, so we can see if we can make it easier for you to understand what I'm going to be waffling about. So yeah, we've got a OGRYN Mark IV, I believe, heavy stubber, and a Bull Butcher Mark III cleaver, which is a pretty formidable build. We may run into some issues if we're singled out by crushers, maybe maulers, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue, especially if the team can pick up the crushers. It's really only the crushers that are going to have a lot of... they're going to cause us some big trouble, because we don't do that much carapace damage with this loadout. So, yeah. I might just skip forward through this bit to get into the action for us. Down we go. Okay. So we've got lots of shooters, gunners even. We just want to terminate those as we come round. Good stuff. Easy as pie. No need to break a sweat there. There's a lot of elite enemies on this bridge, and that is an interesting decision. So we're just going to let you get back with your team before maybe pausing it. I'm just going to scroll backwards, actually. So, looking at this lovely image we have in front of us, we've got a bulwark just charging past us. But there is quite a few shooters. There's loads of shooters here. There's a Reaper, which I think you've locked on because somebody has targeted it, possibly yourself. But bull rushing forward into this is possibly, it's not even possible. This is a very bad decision. You do not want to do this, simply because you don't know if enemies are going to spawn on this ledge, which they do. You don't know how much is over here, right at the back of the room. Could be a load of squads here, which would tear you down. You don't want that. Going too far forward here can spawn a monstrosity, which wouldn't be good for the team. Things can spawn down here and come shoot you as you're coming down as well. So all in all, rushing forward into this, not great. What you instead want to do, so I'm just going to delete my annotations and move forward. What you instead want to do is remain back where you were. You can use your heavy stubber to shoot the Reaper in a very safe position from over here, and it also means that you'll be able to maintain coherency as well, which I think is this lovely number you've got overlaid on your HUD from a mod. So we just want to pull out our range weapon, and we can just shoot this Reaper from a distance with the team, and it will actually stagger and stop the Reaper from shooting, which is an extra powerful utility. So if you really wanted to interrupt them, you can just shoot them, and it doesn't take that many bullets to take it down either. So it's definitely the safer option, and the option you need to opt for if you're in this situation, or a situation like this again. You can see specialists spawning on that little ledge that I mentioned earlier. It's very important. Space Dog lunging Bashty there. So yeah, we're using this to shoot all the little ones, but we can aim for the Reapers and take them out with this gun. And it would stop the team from being suppressed so heavily as well. Because as we can see, we're taking quite a lot of damage, and it's right at the start of the mission, so it's not very ideal. Here we go. And don't be afraid to use your ranged weapon. I know RNG may not be on your side sometimes with ammo pickups, but we have a team full of psychers. So every single ammo drop we're going to be able to pick up. That's always a good thing to remember, that you can track who's on your team, and you can kind of prepare for the future. If we've got 3 psychers, we know we can pick up every ammo drop, we can spend ammo as much as we can here. Go. So what we want to do, we just really need to push forward because we don't want to get stuck at the start. So that's what we're doing, which is good stuff. And because we fought 5 years worth of enemies, it's nice and quiet over here, which is very nice. So yep, just for the... I'll wait for you to go back up the stairs. Yep, little box hunting. Always worth looking for all the crates to see if you can find something like a medkit. Eating my own words there. You found a medkit. That makes it 100% worth to just go on a little tiny search. For all of the new players, just so you know, if you run around this area, this is a monstrosity trigger point. So I don't know what the spawn rate is, but this is a place for a monstrosity to spawn. I think they smash through this wall and they'll come down towards you. So that's something to be aware of in case you're being swarmed closer to the start of the map. Yeah, so we march forward into this lovely room here. So let's see if you get a nice good view of the room as we're getting pummeled by a gunner from down below. It looks like we're not going to. Oop, there we go. The ammo's yours. You don't need to tag it. Oh no, I lie. We have a preacher on the team. Sorry. So there's 2 psychers and 1 preacher. Yep, that's okay. You can take care of mutants with the Gorgonum if they're not too threatening. Usually when they're in a really threatening position, we want to use our box of grenades. So I just want to mention while we're up here, and we can see the room generally, that most of the time you want to remain up here until you get rid of the bulk of the enemies down here. It's only if something pushes you off the top that you want to lunge down here. So you can take this cover here and kind of just shoot everything down into this space. Things will climb up, which will make them super vulnerable. But then if it's getting too overbearing, you can go into this room to the side, and that's usually a safe little place to be able to push forward. So it's good to remember what Obi-Wan said in Revenge of the Sith, which is he has the high ground. And the high ground is exactly that. It's very, very important, and you're in a very strong position when you have it. Much easier to attack heads as well. Okay. See, we're kind of itching to get down there. See, it's looking relatively clear downstairs now, so we can actually make a move. We could have made a move a little bit earlier as well. I think on Damnation, as you get into high intensity, and Auric and Maelstrom and all of those types of higher difficulty Damnation missions, you really don't want to be fucking peeking through the window. You really don't want to be stuck in a location for too long, because you can just get not bottlenecked. You can get stuck in a position as things endlessly spawn on top of you. So I'm waffling. There's loads of stuff happening. Let's scroll back a little bit. So we can pull out our Gorgonum here and shoot him through the window, because as we can see, he staggers backwards, so we can't reach him. But we're going to hear out 4. There we go. We can hear it. What can we hear? We can hear the Poxburster, which is spawning over there. I think you're probably assuming that this teammate, or one of your teammates, is going to stop them from coming around. Alas, it didn't, and it blew us up, which, if it was, if you was unlucky, it could have taken you out, which is not what we want. So, it's always really good to be aware, on this map, in this room, that enemies spawn on the door, which is just round the corner, behind. So we'll see if we get a good view of the door. We'll give it a pause, but unfortunately we reacted a little bit too slow for that Poxburster, and there's another one that just came through as well. Oh, so yes, there is a door where somebody has marked here. Things are going to keep spawning and coming around at you here, especially Poxbursters, so you need to make sure that you've got your ears open for the little pings that they do, so you can make sure you can take them out as they come through. Got a lovely Medicae, which we will need to take. Another extra tip as well is this lovely window and ledge. If we can shoot anything that's in this room before we open this door, right here, we can bring them straight through this gap. And that is a beautiful bottleneck for you to be able to absolutely terminate everything as they come through, because when things are climbing, they're extremely vulnerable and don't do anything. So it's the perfect opportunity to absolutely obliterate everything in the room as they're coming through. Obviously, ranged units might not come through, so you have to take out those separately, but any melee elites or specialist melee enemies, they'll pile through. Like, there we go, got a bulwark coming through. And it's just a really easy choke point to be able to take everything out. So, it's good to bear that in mind as well. I think a good tip for taking out bulwarks, unless they turn around and attack your teammate, is when they attack, you want to dodge to the left, and then they'll be open for attack after that. We've got, looks like going to do some little jump tech for the sniper. It's very, very important to be aware that if the sniper activates its shot as you're in the air after a jump, it will always hit you. So try not to do it too often, because it will get you when you least want it to get you. You've got a couple of Reapers in there. Very nice. Personally, I would have saved those for a mutant, because they'll be really debilitating for the team, specifically at the time that you don't want them to be. And so, now you've not got any grenades, if a mutant comes at a bad time, it's going to take you out. I would have just come to this door, pulled out our Gorgonum, and popped them in the head. Got a little bit of ammo there for you if you need to get that. And I would do as soon as this room is clear. Yeah, good. What we want to do is we want to just run face forward, or face first towards the horde. We're a big OGRYN. We've got our meat cleaver. We can just absolutely pulverize through all of this. So don't be afraid to get into the mix. See, you've got Slaughter on your meat cleaver. I was going to say meat cleaver again. On your cleaver, so you're going to be doing a lot of damage. That's a situation where, if you had a grenade, you could have used that to stop the mutant. But also, just as this one's coming up as well, I can prove this point. If you use your Bull Rush, which you haven't used, I think, since the start, correct me if I'm wrong, you can charge the mutants as they're running, and it'll completely stop them in their tracks. So, for instance, that mutant that will come up and grab you, you can just Bull Rush for 2 seconds to stop it, and then you can finish it off as it's staggered. So that's a good thing, good little tech to remember with the OGRYN, is you can Bull Rush mutants to stop them from grabbing you or your teammates. Got some hounds coming in. There's a Poxburster coming up as well. But the lovely Surge Staff is getting rid of them. It is a great cheat code for stopping Poxbursters, that Surge Staff. Absolutely beautiful stuff. So if no one has already, it's always good to, especially in your instance with this heavy ammo weapon, if you go up the stairs that way, there is a large box which you may or may not, depends if RNGs is with you, you may or may not find extra ammo for your lovely ranged weapon. Okay, so yeah, on this map, as we could see, they're all going to spawn on this ledge, even when you go through the doorway into the corridor that way. And that's a lot of shooters behind you, actually. So even when you go through this doorway, they're going to keep spawning from that ledge, and they're going to run at you down this corridor as you're being peppered by everything that's going to come through that way. So, looking at this giant, lovely horde of shooters, we've got a lot of Poxbursters behind us, and it's not really the most ideal situation to be in. You're a bit surrounded by a horrible mess right now, so I would use this lovely Bull Rush, rush forward through them, stop it just before you go through the door, and get round to this corner and just absolutely bash into them with your cleaver, get rid of all the shooters. It'll also give you space to get away from the Poxbursters as well, which would be perfect. Oh, there we go. Absolutely beautiful. Exactly what the doctor ordered. And we can just pulverize everything here, as I mentioned earlier. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. Unfortunately, we've got all these specials coming through, and the bomber has absolutely ruined you there. And we've got a couple of bits and bobs going through. Good to take cover around these boxes. That's good stuff. Using the map or the environment, sorry, to protect you. You need to run around the corner a little bit. You're vulnerable there. Yeah, round to the left. Good stuff. As you can see, don't forget the ammo crate. Awesome stuff. And yeah, there we go. We can run forward through this lovely choke point. So, in here, when you turn around, I'll mention on a little bit more. In here, what you can do is, if there is a load of enemies in that corridor, sometimes there is, but it looks like you're drawn through most of the things when you had that initial engagement with the poxbursters on all the shooters. You can actually almost aggro everything that's up here on these stairs around this corner as well. Bless me, sneezing. And then that'll all come through the little door you've just run through behind you, which will make your life a million times easier, because then you're just funneling everything through a choke point. And also clearing this room while you're at it as well, which is a big help, because this room can be a little bit awful sometimes. So we're not doing too badly here. We've run through. Yeah, I don't hate that decision to bull rush this, so we can get rid of the Rager. So what you can do there's a lot going on. I'm just going to pause it so I can speak. I might even scroll backwards a little bit so you can just look at the Rager's lovely face as I say this. So what we can do actually with the cleaver is we use our special attack, which is a lovely uppercut punch. We can punch him, and that will also stagger him as well. I think it sometimes knocks him out of his attack animation too. So in the case that you don't have bull rush and there's a Reaper pounding on you and you have the cleaver, just use your special attack and punch his lights out, and then you'll give you just enough space to be able to take him out. Good little tech to remember. And of course you can weave in push attacks, as you have done. So there's a lot going on here. All of the poxbursters are making us feel incredibly nervous with the crazy ticking every 2 seconds. So we can see they're running down the stairs here. They might be coming through this way as well. But as long as your team is above here, on this ledge, on the high ground, these poxbursters will run to where the hole in the floor is behind you, and they'll just instantly blow up. Easy as pie, don't need to stress. Same if they run into a spawn point that enemies have to climb over to get onto the map. They'll run to the wall, they'll just blow up. It's good tech, or good thing to remember for every single map, if you're new to the game, that poxbursters just don't have the ability to climb. They can drop from places, but they can't climb over things. So if you're on the high ground and they can't get up, they're just going to blow up, so you can just wait until they've all come to you, and they'll just kill themselves. So that's beautiful tech to remember, as no one really wants to deal with poxbursters, especially not me. Okay, we're getting pummeled a little bit from downstairs, which isn't great. It is quite an awkward place to be up here. And what we really want to do is, if the team isn't doing it, we want to see if this poxburster blows up, as I said. It seems to just be running about. It's a good point actually. I mentioned before that the poxbursters will blow up on ledges. Sometimes they will run to a spawn door and they'll appear like at somewhere they can get you. I'm not sure that happens in this area, so maybe the map's about to correct me, but I don't think it happens. Got a horde coming through, and 9 times out of 10 they'll rush through from behind at the stairs we've just come from. So it's a good thing to remember that, so we can take care of them on that little choke point. There's a lot of them on this stairway, yeah. But if any of them do come up through the little room, then we can also pick them off as they're climbing up as well. Essentially, it does look like the map has actually called me a fool, because the poxbursters did come. They ran down into a spawn door from down at the bottom, and then they came up and came from behind. So I've just learned something new about the spawn points, or spawn doors for poxbursters, and their accessibility for the map. Maybe that wasn't a horde. Maybe I misheard. It's relatively clearish. We want to get down and move on, really. Right. This map has 2 ways to go in this room, and it's interesting. So, in my opinion, I'm sure people would disagree here, because people just love straight through this door. It's great, easy peasy. Also, a quick tip, this is also a monstrosity spawn point. If you run through here, you might hear a roar or a screech of a nurgly beast. So that's just a good thing to bear in mind. But anyway, as I was saying, there's 2 ways to go. You can go up here, over the ledge, and go through that door. Or you can go through here, down the stairs, and go through this way. Personally, I prefer to go up this way, because, simply, you have a straight line path to the Medicae station, which is on the far right-hand corner, down the stairs in the next room. There's also a couple of lovely choke points and cover points around there as well. I know on this side you've got like nice rooms and a bit of space, but you have to run across to get to the Medicae station rather than running straight forward to it. So that's just my opinion. I think it's the more optimal, and it's a lot easier to funnel things into the room to the stairway, which is on the right-hand side. So I definitely prefer, personally, to go through that way. And just as I mentioned before, there it is. A monstrosity spawn, as I mentioned. Lovely jubbly. And it's a lovely chaos spawn, which is a horribly debilitating monstrosity. That is really the one I imagine has the biggest run-ruining ratio. You've got a lot of Poxbursters coming in, which is not very good for your team. I'm starting to believe that you're new to the high difficulty, as in new to high-intensity shock troop, possibly. Or just shock troop, because there's a lot of specialists spawn at one time there. But the team dealt with them nicely. And through the left we go. Looks like our team's split up. Oh, no, 4. We're all on this side. Good stuff. So you've got a gunner here. Gunner right there, just below you to your right. Right here. You can deal with them. Do not want them to start shooting on us. There he is, being taken out by the Psycho. Lovely stuff. And that was unfortunate. It did give you not very long to prepare for that. You need some good reaction time to get out of that situation, so I won't blame you for that one. Lovely bit of extra ammo. Hopefully they dealt with the Poxburster, and they did. And we've got a horde coming through as well. So this is a sticky one. Because everything's going to come at you. Everyone really, ideally here, every single person on your team needs to come back to the stairs here. There's lots of elites coming through, there's specialists and elites coming through this way, as well as the horde, which is charging through with all of the other units. We want to get to the stairs, get up them. It's a lovely choke point. We can deal with everything so much easier in that position. We'll see what happens. Yeah, absolute mayhem. We want to refrain from charging too aggressively into the horde, because there's a lot of elites and specialists in there. And as you can see, we're quite open to shooters up here as well. If you get up the stairway, they can't really shoot you. Yeah, it appears your team members have gone through the little door into the little room. Wouldn't really recommend that, because bombers and such can really cut you off and get rid of you there. Lovely jubbly, get rid of the Reapers. We want to get rid of that bomber if we can. Good stuff, there we go. Yeah. I think a lot of these weird positions from the enemies, like, they've got quite a good high ground mixture of positions. It just proves that this side, to me it proves that this side isn't the most optimal way, because they can't shoot down at you from the other side, on the right hand side. But there is also a stairway that you can funnel everything up if you need to. Yeah, I've got a dog coming through. Easy pickings for us. Right, it's fairly quiet. We want to run forward. And personally, I would veer to the right hand side so we can get to the Medicae station. Because Moose Me, or Moosem, however you pronounce his name, Really needs it, because if he goes down one more time, he's gone. We're just stopping and typing. We're thinking about typing. Don't really want to think about typing for too long. Happens to the best of us there. So, yeah. Here we go. So, just so you know, yep, on the right-hand side here, if I can grab my lovely pen. Whoopsie daisy. Forgetting my shortcuts. I'm new to the pen. So yeah, on the right hand side here, there is a lovely little tunnel that things come through as well. And you can run straight through there. It's a nice little place for cover. Once you've cleared this half of the room, you can shoot everything on this side. It's just generally a better position to be in, the right hand side of this room. But we've made it through happily. And hopefully we can get a Medicaid charge. There we go, we got the last one. And you should take it because you have the corruption. If you don't take it, I'll be disappointed. There we go. Good stuff. And, yep, that's a spawn door, in case you didn't know. But we're just going to run forward. It's fairly nice and clear. We always want to make as much ground as possible when it's clear, because things will start to catch you off guard very, very quickly. I'm not upset at this decision. I might have even used my bull rush to charge forward. And we've got another chaos spawn. So really good time for the team and monstrosities here. So all the team wants to do, run backwards a little bit down that little tunnel, and we can just bring it forward through there. It's also a good way to funnel enemies through the choke points. So what your teammate has done is he's beautifully being picked off into a position he really doesn't want to be in. If the spawn grabs him or pushes him over here, he's going to get pushed right back down to the other room you was just in. Then you have to run through it all, and all the enemies will keep spawning from down, and he's going to get absolutely wrecked. So this is a very, very bad position for your teammate to be in. So if we can help him out. And it looks like he did actually get knocked down. Exactly, he did get knocked down. So now he's got the odds against him to get back up. I like this decision to try and get rid of the Tox Flamer, because you do not need that whilst you're dealing with the Chaos Spawn, which looks like it has run down to our team. So there's some interesting decision making going on here. It's not bad. It's just weird, because the Chaos Spawn has run downstairs to get his prey that he lobbed down. So the Chaos Spawns just ran off, and you're left up here. There's a horde coming through up these stairs, and you're thinking, this is a great place to be. It's a choke point. We can just deal with the horde here as the team deals with the rest of it. And yes, I would say that's a great decision. Hopefully the team holds up with the Chaos Spawn and anything that might come from that way. So you just want to deal with this as fast as possible, get to your team as quick as you can. So I'm not mad at this decision at all. Everything's gone. You can see things coming from behind. We can bull rush. Good stuff. We can bull rush to stop them from pummeling our team on the floor. It was a mutant, not the Chaos Spawn. I think I misspoke there. Get your grenade out. Box of grenades will take him out in one hit. So we've got our little grenades there completely ready. Always good to remember that. And what we can do is we could have used, in that situation, we could have used our medkit. So if we dropped it down next to his dead body, it would have kept him alive that 2 seconds extra you need just to clear out all of the enemies. So if we scroll back just a tad, our mate's on the floor here. So we'll just go through this in general, this little sequence. So yep, we kill all of the enemies here. Good stuff. That's exactly what we need. So our teammate gets grabbed. We bull rush the mutant. That's good stuff from us. Unfortunately, he gets killed. The first thing we want to do as we turn around, pull out of our box of grenades, smack it in this mutant's face. Mutant's gone. The rest of the job's easy peasy. Unfortunately, so never mind what I was saying. We killed that mutant in 2 seconds. It's the second mutant that we wanted to use it for. So this mutant grabs us, throws us this way. Now we want to get our box of grenades out, dash it in its face. Then, then the job's easy. All done, because there's just a bit of trash hitting us after we killed the Tox Flamer. So that should have been or is the best course of action in this situation like this. If you have grenades, always, always, always remember, if you've got them, keep checking. And you want to throw them at mutants because it'll insta-kill them. And you want to get rid of them in situations like this because they're just going to ruin your day. As it did so. Yep. Grabs, throws you again. Another opportunity to get your box of grenades out. It's a bit more panic-inducing when you've got all of this rubbish around you. But just there, when we got thrown by the mutant into that corner, we can check our jolly Saint Nick is getting absolutely wrecked with his HP. We can drop our medkit, and it'll keep him alive just long enough for you to clear all the enemies to pick him up. Good thing to bear in mind when you've got a medkit. So, what we want to do now, we're clear. Run to your team as fast as humanly possible. It doesn't matter about the 1 or 2 units we need to get down there. Join the team, get incoherency. Bull rush. Yep, there we go. So, may have happened slightly too late. I think he got distracted by the horrible stomps of the mutant behind you, possibly. But yeah, as soon as you see that chaos spawns, grabbed your teammate, you just want to bull rush instantly, get it off. Because it'll start to heal if it chomps on him, and it's so close to death, we really don't want it to heal. But you did bull rush him in the end, so that's not a problem. So, this is prime box of grenade territory. But the Zealot has terminated him for us, so that's no problem. As he has a Thunder Hammer. There we go. Chaos Spawn dealt with. It was a bit messy. We lost a teammate in the journey of killing it as well. I'm stumbling over my words. Whoopsie daisy. Right. Let's run forward, shall we? So we've learned a couple of valuable lessons about keeping downed teammates alive and what you could have done in that situation. It's a lovely mess of enemies. We're just going to absolutely pulverize all of them. This is great. This is what the OGRYN's for. Just running through them. Stuff, good stuff. So here we have a lovely choke point. We don't have that much ammunition on us, but we do just want to pulverize everything in the choke point. If there was enough elites or specialists up there, it might have even been worse using your last bullets to get them. Not a bad decision. That's going to come up from behind us, so that's stunted you into thinking it's downstairs. The spawn point is actually behind this wall, and it comes through a door just here, and then walks round. So that's a good thing to remember. I don't think anything spawns behind us from this point onwards. It's just through the door, which is here, and forward. I think I might be wrong. A horde may come behind us, but generally, specialists like that Poxburster, that mutant for example, will all come from that doorway. This is a good time to use your box of grenades as well. And a little shooter just noise there, and this dog. Yeah, it looks like the entire shock troop squad spawned from that door, and that is what you call just absolute sadness. The game has absolutely ruined you with that one. I'm going to put it in slow motion. What an absolute awful mechanic from the Poxburster there. Doesn't care. You're pushing me? Don't give a shit, mate. Excuse my language. Do not care. You're dead. Fortunately, we're a big boy. We got a lot of HP, so it doesn't really matter. And oh, nope, 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 nope. This is a terrible thing. You do not want to be doing this. If I see this happen very, very often in, I was going to say in Damnation, but it's really the game in general. There's usually times when players are picking up a downed teammate, and there's things like Reapers, gunners, crushers, just... It's these types of specialists or elite enemies that if they have line to shoot you or hit you, you do not want to be picking up your down teammate. As we can see, we've taken a massive amount of damage trying to save this teammate here. All we could have done is we could hit the gunner once, it would have stopped him from shooting. If you really wanted to pick up the teammate before you dealt with them, hit the gunner once, he stops shooting, you've got perfect chance to pick him up. You could have bull rushed him, they get knocked straight to the ground, you got plenty of time to pick your teammate up. But really, what we're going to do, I know we don't have that much ammo, we can pick up that, we can just shoot him in the head maybe 4 or 5 times, and he's dead. We do not want to start picking up teammates when crushers, gunners, reapers, or anything like that have perfect line of sight to just pound on us for free, because we're just going to take free damage. And why would we take free damage for no reason? That's the sort of stuff that causes mission runs to end. So we do not want we really do not want to just let gunners just pulverize us for free. It appears I am eating my words a little bit here. Things are clearly spawning from behind us, which is unfortunate, especially as we come down the stairs. More stuff's going to start spawning behind us, and it's going to put us in a really bad position. That bomber's really cut us off there. We're in a really unfortunate place that we've not got that much ammo. Yep, good stuff. Get up them stairs. You want to get up the stairs. Get with your teammates. Everything's going to come through the choke point, and you can deal with it on the stairway. And that ammo crate is an absolute blessing for us. So what we can do now that we've got the ammo crate is exactly this. We can pull our gun out, creep down the stairs. You can shoot those reapers in the face. I mean, it looks like we're remaining up here. The psych is dealing with everything. Yep, right in the face, as you can see, that stops them from shooting, staggers them instantly. No need to stress. I think there is a bomber still downstairs. And you do sort of want to ideally deal with him before you move on, because he's just going to lob a grenade behind you when you least want him to, and that's going to absolutely ruin your positioning. It's still on the stairs. It's downstairs, actually. He's chucking things at the stairway. See, we're having a little conversation here. I don't know if someone's just not confident enough to open the door. Run through. If we're really scared about this bomber, we can just go deal with him. Interesting little moment for the team here. And what are we doing? We're just staring at the door. We're just having a bit of fun. Ah, yes. The pensive wait for the fire to die down. If that was... I think this is actually barrel fire, not bomber fire. This is a good tip for players. If a red barrel... Let's just say that this is red and not yellow. I think I can actually change the colour of the pen to red, but that's going to take too much time. If you blow up a red barrel... and it explodes and covers this lovely area with fire, you can actually just bunny hop over it all, and you will take any damage. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. On the contrary, if a bomber throws a bomb, and then it covers the area with bomber fire, which is different, then if you jump into it, you'll instantly take damage, all your toughness is gone, and you'll take damage as you go through. Weird distinction, don't know why that mechanic's like that, but barrel fire and bomber fire react differently to the way you jump over them. So if a barrel blows up, you can jump over it safely. If a bomber blows it, puts a load of fire on the ground, you cannot jump safely across it. As we can see, this lovely conversation we're having in the text chat is completely distracted us. We've taken a load of damage that we didn't need to take. Yeah, you'd rather want to get into cover before you start typing and having conversations. Yeah, so this fire, for example, you could bunny hop through it and it wouldn't matter. Yeah, things are going to spawn through that door where he is. They'll also spawn on the other side as well. We seem to be a bit flustered. We don't really know what we're doing here. We need to make a decision. There's a lot of things spawning behind us. You need to make the decision instead of worrying about being here. I don't know what to go. Do I go forward? Do I go backwards? Just go for one. This bomber's come here. Come around here. Terminate him. It looks like the Preacher's gone round. I can't remember what weapon the Preacher has. You can gun them down in a couple of seconds with the Gorgonum. Things forward. Move forward with the rest of the team. I'm sure Moosum. Forgive me if you're watching and I can't pronounce your character's name. I'm sure he's going to deal with it anyway. Just like that, peppered. He has a shotgun. Good stuff. Yeah, we don't want to be stood doing nothing for too long a period of time. That mutant's fine. Don't need to use boxer grenades on him. Would have been a waste. I think we could have taken that ammo and been greedy. Everyone else had good ammo reserves. Well, you've actually flashed up the scoreboard. Let's take a look, shall we? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, there it is. Let's have a look at what we've got here then. So, Mr. is yourself. We've got the rest of the team. We've done a lot of overkill damage. But it looks like we're definitely doing a respectful amount of damage to the enemy here. See, we're not too far behind on disablers and specialist kills, and we've killed a healthy amount of elites. And it doesn't look like there's been that many melee elites, so wouldn't need to worry about your little one there. And we've dealt with a healthy amount of trash as well. This Psyker is doing a very good job at dealing with the trash, so it seems like a well-balanced team here. No complaints. Let's move on, shall we? So, yep, the team is being cautious, as they should be at this ledge. You just jump down. Usually, you just want to take a quick scan, which it looks like the team has done, and just pick off any high-priority targets in this main room before you jump down there. I think there was a sniper initially that got dealt with, so no complaints about the decision-making up here. Just make sure you clear as much of the heavier targets, and if there's lots of shooters, you can deal with those from the safe position upstairs as well, before you even come down. Got a Poxburster coming in, so good little thing to remember. In this map, Poxbursters every single time will spawn over here, and they'll make their very slow way. They'll be ticking for a long time. They'll make their slow way, they'll jump down, and then they'll come all the way down these stairs and come to whichever direction they need to go to get you. So you'll hear them ticking for a very, very, very long time. But that's where they spawn. Just good to remember that. It might not be every time, by the way. They can spawn from the left, I think, but majority of the time you'll hear them come from the right-hand side. We've got a mutant. It seems to be taking the team a long time to get rid of him. Could have bull rushed him, stop him from grabbing the team, but it doesn't seem necessary. Yeah, we're like this. And we can just deal with him with the gun. Don't not complain about that. We've got the sniper coming in. And we can deal with him. Yep. And someone's got him anyway. It may seem counterintuitive to use this gun at a long range because its accuracy is just bad at long range, but all you need is a couple of bullets to kill a sniper, and it's infinitely valuable to get rid of that sniper before it kills the team, if the team hasn't picked them off, that is. So, no complaints there. Good stuff. So it looks like our teammate has asked us where. So, there is a few places on this map that you can go in this room. I want to see if I can get a nice view of the room, which I don't think I will. I'm going to have to scroll backwards. Okay, so this is going to have to do. So yeah, there's a few places in the room that you can defend. One is up the stairs. I believe it is here. It might be here. I actually can't tell from the position that we're in. But it's, if you go up here, there's some stairs. You go up the stairs, and it's that little back room or back area there. You can go there. It's quite tight, and the jump down is a bit awkward. You can come round up to the same level on the other side. I think it is a lower panel down. It's here and here, I believe. So you can defend on the lower levels. This one is a bit more awkward as you've got a ceiling above you and it's a bit tighter, a bit more choke points. Bomber fire can ruin you a little bit more, but it's generally safe over there as well. And obviously you can do the two bottom bits here. My preference, I don't think I really have one generally. I've had relatively high success on either sections of the room. I think I'll lean towards either on the bottom sections, choose the left-hand side. On the top sections, it's kind of whichever you feel more comfortable with personally. This one has a lot more cover from walls, but you're more hemmed in. So if RNG gets you too bad, then it's going to ruin you. This one's just got a little tiny ledge, which things will come up, but then you're more open to shooter fire. Personally, I always just come down here. It's easier for me personally. It just means you need to be aware of bombers, which will always be up here. Just going, wee, psh. You don't want that to kill you. So let's just move back forward to 2417. Okay, I'm going to pick 2416. But that's fine. Looks like we're going to choose a higher elevation. Or not. We're just going to stand in the middle. We don't want to be in the middle. The middle's the place we do not want to be, so we need to get somewhere. Looks like we've chosen the back in the middle, which isn't actually a bad place to be because things at the bottom can't shoot up towards you, and you've got free reign to shoot the bombers, which are going to spawn in the middle bridge area bit at the top there. So, not complaining about the position in here. It's pretty decent. And yeah, so if you had Olympic level reaction times, you could bull rush that mutant, save your teammate from taking the damage from him. We can still hear that poxburster ticking away, it's stressing us out, but just remember it is behind us and it's going to drop down in that little area, as I mentioned earlier. Nice push on the dog with the attack. That's the poxburster coming down. We've got a sniper somewhere that we need to make sure that we're aware of as well. We've got a bomber. He's going to spawn at the top. He's going to dash a grenade down towards you. So if you get the space, which it looks like you have a relatively decent amount of, you just want to take a look upwards to see if you can see the bomber. Because they're game-ending utilities, that's what they are. So we're in a very weird position. It appears that most of the team just isn't with us. So we've used our brute strength to get through the mission objective. Looks like plot's supposed to spawn from the left-hand side. Yeah, I think a note to your team. If your teammate's down at the objective, go help them. Don't stand elsewhere on the map for no reason. You need to help them. Bloody hell. So that wasn't a fault of yours. Your team, I think you only had one teammate next to you. It's just not ideal. The rest of the team needs to be there to assist you. And it looks like we've got the same one again, which isn't bad. And a load of shooters have come in as well. We're in a very bad position because we're in OGRYN. We've tunnel visioned that barrel, which didn't do that much damage. And now you're coming back to the corner you should have come back to initially. As soon as you saw the 10,000 lasers raining down upon you, you should have been back in this corner. There's the bomber. The bomber will have thrown that grenade from the top. So, it's a good note for you and your team. I think we're going to go down here. Yes, we are. So, what happened here then? What happened is we saw the grenade come down from the bomber into the back corner area, and we were like, oh hell no, we're getting out of here. And we've ran into what appears to be an absolute slogfest of enemies. Just the most unideal position to be in. We don't want to be over here, and we've been punished for that decision. Psychers, any ranged teammates, make sure as soon as you hear the bomber call, someone call for a bomb. They're up here on this bridge. They're right at the top. They're going to throw it down towards you. You don't need to look anywhere else. Look up here. OGRYN and Zealot and Purgatus or whatever else, dealing with the trash, completely fine. We need a psyker or a ranged person to look up that bridge. Just look up there every 2 seconds, because that bomber is going to ruin you. It's panicked our mister into running out into the open and getting absolutely destroyed out here. As we can see, Jolly Saint Nick is very safe in the corner, so we panicked because the bomber fire came down. We didn't really need to, but if someone was just looking upwards, we could have dealt with the bombers, because they're just raining absolute hell on us right now. It looks like Jolly Saint Nick has got lovely moose meat. Looks like the bomber's come downstairs, and he's shoved one in the corner just for them. Hopefully we get picked up. There's a gunner pummeling onto the teammate, which isn't ideal. It's hard because I can't see their point of view, which makes it really hard to judge what they're doing. For example, if the Psyker had their special ability, they could have used it, it would have pushed or stopped that gunner from shooting, could have picked you up without getting absolutely peppered. If they looked upstairs and just headburst the bombers, we wouldn't be in this situation at all. And yeah, there's a lot of decision making from your teammates, which is not the best, but at the start the situation was us running out into the open, to be fair. So luckily our teammates got that dog off. To anyone that leaves missions, if a dog's on you and the rest of your team's down, if you're lucky enough to get a bomber, drop a bomb on you as you're being bitten up by a dog, or a flamer comes, they'll actually knock the dog off you. So it's always important. Don't leave the map thinking you've done. You might get lucky and you might be able to pull off that 1v5 million hero play and save the team. But it looks like our friend Moose Me and his teammate are going to be able to recover us, get us back into action. And we can start continuing our review of your positioning. So yeah, sometimes if the teammate's not doing it, we have to take matters into our own hand. I'm going to say it just one more time, unless it happens again. Up here, bombers going to spawn. We can pull out our Gorgon. It's not the most accurate, but the team's not doing anything about it. We need to deal with it, or try to deal with it ourselves. Just take some shots up here. We need to just deal with these bombers before they debilitate us too hard. That's the trouble of being in this corner and that corner. You really need to be aware of what's up here, because that's the only part of the map that's going to stop you from being able to successfully complete this section of the mission. Got a relatively calm point in time. And you want the grenades, personally. Let's be greedy, let's take them. We don't really need the stun grenades. They're always very helpful, but being able to terminate a mutant in one hit is such a great utility. Yeah, we do it alright. Get to the medkit, good stuff. Ideally, you'd like the rest of your team to be here. Just realised I actually don't know what this little indicator is. I wish I did know, but I don't. Let me know in the comments what this is. It must be a mod, but I'm just not sure which mod it is. It looks like we have indeed got most of the team in coherency. Here comes Jolly Saint Nick to join us. So yeah, as I mentioned, if you're in this corner, listen out for bombers. The rest of it is easy, as we're proving. This defense is the easiest thing you'll ever do, as long as you keep track of what's upstairs. The bomber. And looks like RNG's blessed us 3 times in a row with this same point, which works very nicely. There's a flamer coming from the right hand side, but we're dealing with all of this relatively decently. There's the flamer, good stuff. Popping him out with your Gorgon. Didn't kill him. We ideally want to kill him. I know it knocks him down, makes it a bit awkward, but you want to finish him off. Oh, he's going to do exactly this. And just ruin you up a bit. Not doing too badly. I think Severin on his little solo mission, and he's just gone down. This is what happens when people go out of coherency. They just run ahead. Yeah, so... Whilst your reaction time could have been better, you could have dodged the trapper before it got you, you should not have been over here in the first place, because Severin should have been down there in the corner with you. Shouldn't be trying to be this superhero running off into a side of the map where everything's going to focus him. Just makes no sense. If you're playing on Damnation, especially high intensity shock troop, which I believe this is, join your team and bloody stay with them. You don't need to leave your team unless there's exceptional circumstances, which this wasn't. Because now the rest of them have to come up here and save you both. So Severin, shame on you. Forcing our mister come up there. And he got pummeled for it. But we've done the mission, and there is a horde coming through just for us. And we've got some lovely rages as well. I believe they're going to come from behind you, so as soon as we're done with these priority targets, we can deal with them. There's some in front of you as well, but I think most of them are being dealt with your team behind, so we do want to... If we're in this situation, it does sound like the team's absolutely wrecking everything back there, so it doesn't really matter this much in this instance, but if there's only like 1 or 2 enemies trickling through, and we can hear the screams and cries of 10,000 of them behind us, we don't really want to be spending that much time here. You want to go back to your team, take a peek, see if they need assistance, and then help where needed. You need to just at least take a look, is what I'm saying. Just take a glance at your team. Do they need help? We don't know. We're just assuming they're doing okay. They could be about to be overrun. We'd never know. In this case, I think it's going to be fine. But if we're just taking trickling dregs of enemies, take a little peek, see how your team's doing. They might need some assistance. It looks like they're getting mildly overwhelmed. You charge straight through everything. Not ideal at all. What we want to do in that situation is, the bull rush is fine. We can do the bull rush. We just want to stop it as soon as we get to the doorway, because then it'll knock them down, but then we can step back without getting surrounded by the enemies, as we did in this little pool here. So yeah, do the bull rush, knock them down, but disengage the bull rush just as you come through the doorway so you can step back in a safe manner without being ruined or surrounded. Because once you're surrounded, it's really hard to get out of it sometimes, and it can really ruin you. Excuse me. Cool, not too bad. Finishing off all the enemies. Took a little bit of unnecessary damage with the overextended bull rush, but not the end of the world. You need to pick up that ammo. We're just kind of doing nothing here, but it turned out there was a pox burster, so I'm not going to blame you for that one. I didn't hear it. You might have done, but you dealt with it nicely. So, this is a good thing. A lot of people will say, oh, the server stopped the dog from getting me. It's this Darktide servers, they're so bad. If you could have pushed that dog, it would have been fine. I think 90% of the time, possibly even 95%, people may hate me for saying this, but 95% of the time, you can push attack a lunging dog and you'll push it off you. That 5% of the time, yeah, sure, the servers ruined you a little bit. You've got a little bit of personal lag. Your router's not doing as much download speed as you want. 95% of the time, you just need to play better. Just going to leave that point there, and we can move on. There we got him in the end. Good stuff. Awful from anyone that shot that burster and it's really ruined Severin's HP pool there. Unless he was shooting it himself. It looked like he was attempting to push it. We can pick up that ammo beside us. And we've let the Zealot pick it. Personally, I'd lean towards you having more ammo than the Zealot, because we have a longer ranged option. And we're running really slowly here. Let's just go for a little casual stroll through the map. Is that ammo? Did you just pick up the ammo yourself? Pick up the ammo. Don't stress. And I think a lot of people worry about or have a little bit of gamer anxiety about an ex-player going, "Oh, you stole all the ammo, blah, 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 blah." In this situation, you've got the only long-ranged weapon, really. Just take the ammo. And on most occasions, you could take the ammo. You had about half of your ammo capacity. You can take that ammunition, and it's not stealing ammo, quotation marks. I did with my fingers there, which you can't see. So don't be afraid to just take the ammo if you're in the position you're in, because you only had about half capacity. And your gun is a massive utility to the team. The shotgun, meh, he can pick off things with a few picks, but generally your weapon's going to do a lot better for the team. So we ran into that room and things hit us by the top. I'm just going to go through that again. So we came in here, lovely little room we've got here, and we ran forward. So we can slash our way through here, but then as soon as we got to this wall, these guys were just pummeling our face, like we were a joke, essentially. See this, you could run in here, take a step back, pop the things at the top with the Gorgodum, because you picked up all the ammo over there, definitely did, because you're a pro, and you don't let other people dictate whether you can take ammo drops or not. You come over here, take these out, slash the rest of them, you're done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But instead, we're taking shots by the guys at the top, taking unnecessary damage, which isn't the most ideal thing ever. And you've taken that ammo. Good stuff. Yep. Good stuff. Get your push attack ready. Me's been absolutely ruined by that burster. He should have pushed it. Oh well. He says the R word, but I couldn't tell if he was able to push it or not because we can't see his perspective. Yeah, not massively ideal to shoot a poxburster, even if it's been pushed far away by the lovely Surge staff. But also not the end of the world as long as nobody got hurt in the process. Yep, good stuff. Grabbing the materials. There's a bomber. We would want to deal with him ideally, but it might take 5,000 years, and a lot of people get impatient. Sometimes I do, so you just want to go down. I'm just going to say, to all players out there, if a horde spawns when you're about to come down here, don't go down the stairs. It's just what's the point in going down there? You have to deal with the horde down the stairs. You don't want that. Because what do we have here? We have the world's most beautiful choke point, and that's what we have. So, there's no point in going down the stairs and dealing with the horde down there when you can so easily just funnel everything down here and absolutely terminate them as they come down. Obviously, that's not happened in this instance. But... Oh! The timing is actually impeccable. Moose Me, I don't know what he's doing there. It might have been gone backwards to kill the bomber. But that timing on this horde is just absolutely impeccable. Beautiful stuff. Let's see what the team does. Will we deal with it up here, or will we go down the lift? It looks like Moose Me's got the right idea in his head. Everything's just going to funnel down that way. And we can just terminate everything. Good stuff. Now we bear witness to the Emperor's good work. You see, it's all good fun watching Moose Me terminate everything. We do actually want to help him. As we can see, 50 bombs have just been dropped on the map there. So that's pretty unfortunate. And this is turning into an absolute mess. So, it is a little bit of a mess. If the Psyker is alive, which I believe he is, then he's the only person that can really do anything in this situation. Moose Me was here. If we were with him, we could have pushed through the horde and jumped forward, and then we could have dealt with the bombers and also got on the front side of the bomber fire that they chucked. But it looked like most of the team was back here, not really doing anything, just watching him attack the horde. This is Darktide. We run forward and we attack things. The Emperor doesn't want you to be passive. He wants you to be active. Get in there and help your teammate. I'm just going to scroll back, watch this happen. So Moose runs forward. It's good stuff. The only reason this was bad from the team generally was because of the bombers, but we already knew they were here. If we ran forward with our teammate and we're at that little choke point with him, we could have pushed through all of the stuff, got on the front end of these bombs, which have literally just been thrown in. They're going to come up here, boom. If we were over here, we could have, or at least if the rest of the team was here, like all of this mess wouldn't have been here because it'd all be dead. And we could run straight past them. You could have bull rushed the mutant, which came down. We'd all be over here in a nice, safe, big space, deal with the bombers, come back down the choke point. Easy peasy. But we seem to have had an extra big snooze fest down at this end, which isn't the most ideal, to be fair, as we can see. Severin has taken the death for the situation. Also, to anyone that may have said, if you ran that way, the sniper would have got you. This ledge here would have protected us a little bit from the sniper, and if we were over here, the horde here would have been dead because the rest of the team would have killed them, and we could pick off the sniper as we go up the stairway before we killed the bombers. So yeah, this is an awkward place to be in right now, because the only person that can really do anything is the Psyker, but the bombers are going to keep themselves well protected. So Moose taking it upon himself to be the bomber hero. Which I'm not mad about. It's just not great that we let the situation happen to begin with. Yeah. Dealing with the specialists. Good stuff. Can't tell what enemy's been left at the top there, but would have been more ideal to kill him. And there's a lovely bomber grenade there. He's going to come down, so we need to be aware that that bomber's going to spawn once we get to the bottom.
Maybe I should try to wake up.
Lovely Rager. So this room is a lovely, lovely, lovely room. It can be very easy, depending on the skill level of the team, because you can throw the batteries up to the team, so you can have a collector and a grabber. The team has to be relatively coordinated to do that, and all on the same page, which doesn't really happen that often, unless you're with a pre-made. And so, yeah, most of the time, if there's an OGRYN on the team, you want to grab the batteries, run up the stairs with them, because you're really, really quick with them. There's that bomber that was from the top. We're just waiting around. So whilst I understand that we really ideally want to kill the bomber, it's going to take 5 years to come through. In that time, we could have another specialist wave come through, which could deal a lot more damage than the one bomber will if we after started the mission. So personally, I would have started the mission by now. We don't want to wait too long. As soon as that thing starts, you don't need to shoot. Get that battery, run. Get up the stairs as fast as you possibly can. Lovely throw. Will it go up there? We'll never know. It looks like it has. Absolutely beautiful throw from you there. No complaints from me. It was it was always clipping off the ledge, so that was a very excellent throw from you. Yeah, just want to deal with the specialists. You want to bull rush into that crowd. We want to bull rush into the crowd. That works. If you bull rush them, he's not going to continue getting hit as you're picking him up. I know it only takes 2 seconds to pick him up. Yeah, okay, right. There's a lot of mayhem here. Soon as this player got grabbed by the trapper, bull rush into him. Instant bull rush. All of the enemies get knocked down. You can pick him up. He doesn't get attacked anymore. He has time to regenerate toughness and get into a better position. Instead, we attacked enemies, and instead of bull rushing to stop them all, we started picking him up. He's still going to take damage as you're getting him up. And he was getting pulled on by, 15... It's not going to be that many, maybe like 8 enemies which are around him. So we could have saved him within an instant. Yeah, sure, it's not a guarantee that he would have survived as he got up, and he was still surrounded by a fair amount of enemies. But if he bull rushed, he wouldn't have been, and so he would have been able to get enough space to get into a better position. So we give him the best opportunity to survive and do better for the team. Instead, we've got ourselves into this pickle because we picked him up. He's died almost instantaneously because all the enemies were still around him. And then as you've gone to assist him with the bull rush, the trapper's got you. And so now we're in a very unideal situation. So that's how you could have done better in that situation. It's just instant bull rush to save the team. And we may possibly even go down here. And we haven't, which is good. And we've got a medkit, which we're unfortunately going to have to use before the end of the map. It's the last zone you really want to save all your stuff for. The defense at the door, but it's necessary to get yourself saved here. And nicely done. Nicely done. Unfortunately, he did then go to grab your teammate. And we don't have any grenades to stop him coming through. The Psyker. I'm hearing this sniper take pot shots about 5 times a second. So this sniper really, if you're a Psyker and you hear a sniper taking out your team left, right, centre, have a look around. It doesn't look like there's that much attack in the team here, that you don't have 2 seconds to run up the stairs, like here, get around the ledge, whatever, to just find the sniper, put a head burst on him. That's all it takes. Then the team's a lot safer. Instead, there he is. Nicely done. It looks like Zeverin had to take him out. Okay, we're jogging. We need to run. Never jog. Good decision. Let's take out a lovely trapper. And we're getting rammed up by a lot of enemies here. This is another situation where you may wanted to have use your bull rush. All you need to do is just tap it and get within a meter of the Tox Flamer. You heard him come round, you heard him going tick, and then he started to activate the flame weapon. You can hear the channeling of it. You know where that is. You can turn around, bull rush for 2 seconds, just knock him down, and then you can get your Gorgon out, just pepper him in the head for 4 shots, I think was all it takes to kill him. And so we've been a little bit ruined. Good, very, very good decision making to get the dog off your teammate there with bull rush, which here or there, if you used the bull rush to kill the Tox Flamer, you wouldn't have been able to get the dog, but you could have pushed the dog off with a couple of shots at the Gorgon in that situation. But good job for getting the dog off your teammate regardless though. The team going for a little bit of a hard time here because the team is extremely split up. Great on getting the sniper as fast as possible there. Not really necessary to use bull rush on the dog there. If you just attacked it with your melee weapon, it would have staggered it. And then you could have picked it off. Because every melee hit staggers the dog. And we're just being absolutely rushed by everything. Remember what I said very, very, very early on in this map. If you use your special attack, the punch, you'll stagger the rages, and then you won't have to worry about them just pummeling into you. But also, we can see we've got an ammo crate here. Oh, my pen. What's happened to my pen? Oh dear. Hold up. Let me just sort out my pen. There we go. Good stuff. Yeah, we have an ammo crate here. So what can we do? We can use our ranged weapon. Do you know how much damage that ranged weapon does? Way more damage to elites than our cleaver does. So I know you have to reload it, but that's also a good tip. Make sure you reload your weapon whenever you have a moment of downtime. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, we can just pick him up. We've got enough stamina to take on the hits of a couple of trash enemies. But yeah, ideally, you want to have your ranged weapon reloaded so we can take out elites when we need to. I know it takes a couple of seconds to pull it out, Pause. But you can take out elites so much faster with it, and it'll just save your team so much grief. Okay, looks like our teammates grabbed the battery, and they might just run up the stairs with it. Nope, they didn't. Good stuff. Go on. Give it another go. Oh, you've not got the techers this time, but looks like our teammate's there to grab it. Good stuff. The coordination is on point. And now that we're done, we can all just run straight to the door. We don't need to be up here anymore. We can just run straight to the door. Of course, we want to save our teammate or help them with the mutant, but run straight to that door. It seems they've started the mission without you there, which is not the most ideal, but it's not the end of the world either, because you're not too far away. But here we go. We really want to save that bull rush for a situation we might need it in this little corner. I don't think the dog was en route to kill any of you. There we go. That's what we want to do. Get your gun out and shoot them. You're going to kill elites 10 times faster with that gun than you will with that cleaver. Yep. Absolutely peppered. Good stuff. Getting a bit too eager, but we've made it. We've made it work. Alright, we're about to get shot down. Yep, there we go. Help everyone. Good lad. Taking a bit of unnecessary damage, but it's the end of the mission. Not the end of the world. Might be the end of the world now that we've died, but... So as soon as you pick your teammate up, you just want to go back down, make your way back to the safe area of the mission, because that's where your teammates are. And they'll realise you're in distress, and they will come and help you, which is everything we need from a team. Very nice 360 spins, Severin. I noticed it. Not sure anyone else did, but I noticed it. And there we have it. That's a very large, lovely wall of penances you just got there. Congratulations to you. That's me clapping my hands for any dirty-minded people out there. Clapping my hands. Applause. Oh, I suggested my own... suggested my own video. How exciting. So, yeah. There we have it. That was a player that was not new to Damnation, I believe, but new to Shock Troop Gauntlet and high difficulties of Damnation. We did have a couple of decision-making moments which weren't the most ideal, but hopefully I've given you enough information to be able to learn from those situations and how you could have done better with the tools you have. There was a couple of bits and tricks about the map in general, such as monstrosity spawn points and spawn doors, etc. And yeah, I hope this kind of style of video kind of helps you just learn basic mechanics of the game and better position yourself to thrive more in high difficulties, and then you'll be able to get into the Auric operations board and remain there, because we don't really want to go outside of the Auric operations board, because the missions just aren't as fun unless they're throwing literally everything under the sun at you. Very good stuff from Mister. Lot to learn there from you, or for you, and I hope that I've helped you out a lot. And if any of you would like to join in and send in your VOD reviews, I've left a link in the description to the form below, so please do go down below and check that out. It's just down there, and submit your VODs, and I will take a look and see how much I can help you or not help you. And with that all done and dusted, I shall see ya on the next video. Goodbye.